Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you're having an incredible day wherever in the world you are. Thank you so much for joining this group. It's amazing to have all of you live here right now. We're going to have an incredible 5-day challenge. So as you come in online, I want you to share where in the world you're tuning in from. I'd love for you to have a shout out. So let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. Say hello, bring that positive energy. See you press that like button, that love button. And most importantly, say hello. Simo, nice to meet you. Nikhil, nice to meet you. Carol, how's it going? Ashley, wonderful to meet you. Jeanette, good to meet you as well. How many of you are excited to take this 5-day challenge? Now, I know that a lot of you will be watching on the replay because you're at work right now or you're with your kids right now, whatever it may be. I want you to make sure that you watch these regardless, right? Even if you have to watch it on the replay, I can't wait for you to check this out. So Jeanette, good morning. Simi, Juliana, Jonathan, Kimberly, Aaron, Tom, Christine, it's wonderful to have each and every single one of you coming live here right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. So whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on the replay, I want to say one thing. Congratulations. Well done for taking this step forward. Well done for taking this step forward in investing in yourself. We focus so much. We spend so much time trying to be there for everyone else. We spend so much time trying to help other people figure things out. We spend so much time trying to help people through their challenges. And that makes us wonderful human beings, right? It makes us beautiful human beings. But the best thing you can do is to invest in yourself so that you can continue to serve others, so that you can continue to be there for others, and not just be there for others, but have the best of you there for others. That's what this is about. When you focus on your habits for happiness, you can be your best, happiest, most joyful version in life so that you can serve others and make a difference in their life. And isn't that what we want? If that's what you want, say yes in the comments right now, that you can operate at your optimal level. You can be at your best in mind, body, and soul so that you can give your best to others. I'd love for you all right now to set an intention for the next 5 days. What is your intention? What are you coming in with? And I want you to write in the comments. You can write it in a notepad at home as well, or if you're typing away on the side. What is your intention for doing this 5-day challenge? I'd love to see those in the comment section because it's so important that we know what we're putting in so that we know what we're getting out. So often we turn up to something without being really sure about it. But I'd love for you to tell me right now what your intention is. I love the fact that you're all excited. That's amazing. And now I want you to go one step deeper and be really conscious. What is your intention for this 5-day challenge? And I want you to remember one really, really important thing, that on day 5, right? This is going to be really, really excited. I want you to show up for the first, all the days, of course. But on the 5th day, we will be selecting one person to have a one-to-one phone call with me for around 10 minutes to really dissect and go deeper into some of these topics. So I definitely want you to not miss out on day 5. But for the next 5 days, we'll be diving in to the 5 happiness habits that I think are going to make a huge, huge difference in your life. But make sure you do not miss day 5. And if you know friends or family that are missing out on a few of these, make sure that they don't miss day 5 as well. I'm going to read out some of your intentions. Nora says, my intention is to find a way out of the negativity in my mind, to take that power back and find my happiness. Beautiful. That's a great intention. Thank you for sharing that. Another Nora says, to be happy despite having a stressful life. Ashley says, I'm here to find my happiness. I'm in a dark place right now and need more positivity in my life. Your vibes are awesome. I hope to get something out of it. You will get something out of it if that's your intention. That's brilliant. Divya says, this is exactly what I was looking for. Perfect timing, looking to change my mindset towards finding habits to find joy. Melissa says, the intention here is to overcome any toxic ways of thinking and bad habits that hinder me from cultivating the happiness from within. These are all amazing intentions, by the way, everyone. I'm reading a few more as well. And just know that you're all here for the right reasons. And if you come here with a very clear, a very deep intention, I promise you that you will be able to extract in the next 5 days things that will change your life. Because guess what? When you dive deep into something for 5 days, when you really commit to a plan of action like you are right now for 5 days, your life can change. Usually we think about what we need to change in our life like once a week, maybe once a month, maybe once a year, maybe just for New Year's resolutions. But right now is the best time. Why? Because for now, till the end of the year, you can experiment with these things. So you start with 5 days. Then you're going to stretch that and it's going to stay in your life. Once we do 5 days together, you're going to want to do 10 days. And then you're going to want to do 15 days. And this is why they're habits for happiness. Happiness is a habit. Happiness is a daily choice of habits. When you do the same things every day, they become habits and they create a state in which you live. We all live, if you're in the United States, you already live in a state, but you also live in a state up here, right? Everyone lives in a state in the United States. Everyone owns an estate and everyone is in a state here in their minds. And for so many of us, our habits are creating states. From what I can read from your intentions, our habits are creating states that we don't want to live in. They're not creating happiness. Happiness is a state that is created by habits. Happiness is a habit. I want you to just understand that for a moment. Happiness is not a destination. Happiness is not somewhere out there. It's not some elusive thing. Happiness is a habit. When you do the right things every day, the right habits every day, you access more happiness. And this is why we have to focus on creating a state of happiness to live in, rather than trying to find happiness somewhere. And so today we're going to focus on habit number 1. And this may be a habit that you've heard of before. This may be a habit that you've even tried before. But I want you to push aside all of that, I already know this. Right? I want you to lock that away. Any feeling that goes, I know this, I've done this, I've heard of this, move that out. Because do you know what that is? That is your mind trying to trick you from growing, right? Your mind is trying to trick you from growing. Every time your mind says, I already know this, I've heard this before, this is something I've tried before. Whenever your mind says that, what it's trying to do is stop you from really growing, because there are so many different ways of applying the same things. There are so many different ways of growing in an area. So if you're all excited, if you're looking forward to this, say yes in the comments. I think your intentions are incredible. I want you to remind yourself of that intention. That's all I want you to do. For the next 5 days, when you're turning up to these lives, I want you to repeat that intention in your mind. Right? I just want you to repeat that intention. This is why I'm here. When you are clear on why you're here, the what and how becomes simple, right? When you're really clear, I'm here because, and state your intention, then you come and you bring all your energy to this place. So for example, for me, for these 5 days, my intention was, I want to give, serve, and facilitate in a way that lets all of you live your happiest, most joyful, and most purposeful lives, right? That's my commitment and my intention to you. Whenever I'm doing a live like this, even if I'm going live with my genius community, which is my private coaching community every single week, my intention every single time I turn up live is, how can I serve? How can I facilitate? How can I share? How can I give in a way that will allow you to live your most joyful, happy, purpose-fulfilled lives? Now, when I say that, guess what happens? My whole being is present in this, right? Does that make sense? So I want you to do that as well. Amazing. Okay, so everyone's very excited. Everyone's really looking forward to this. So we're going to get going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are in to habit number 1. And what I really want you to do about this is how to get the most out of the 5 days. Whenever I teach a habit, I'm going to give you practical tips to do. I want you to do it that day. And I want you to talk about this with someone else. I want you to share what you're doing with someone else, not just digitally. And I want you to talk about it online, of course. But I want you to share it with someone. Maybe it's with your partner. Maybe it's with your children. I want you to share what you're learning, because when you partake, right, when you get involved, this will become so much more deeper for you and will help so many more people. So, just getting my notes up here. So, one thing about gratitude is habit number 1, right? Gratitude. And I'm going to dive deep into the practice of gratitude. This isn't just a fluffy, wishy-washy, oh, that's so cute, oh, I'm so grateful, oh, I'm so thankful. No, this is a science. Gratitude is actually a science to boost happiness. Now, this is incredible. Listen to this carefully. Harvard, Happier Human, and Psychology Today said that this is one of the most overlooked practices, but it can help boost your happiness by 10%, which is the same result as doubling your income. A good practice of gratitude can give you a boost in happiness by 10%, which is the same as doubling your income. Mind blown, right? That is insane. That is absolutely insane. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine how hard it is to double your income? We all know how hard and difficult that is. But can you believe that simply by shifting your state into a state of gratitude can boost your happiness by 10%, which is equal to doubling your income? Now, this is incredible because, if someone told me I could access that through gratitude, I would take that straight away. And this isn't just being thankful. Listen to me carefully. This is really, really a science. So here are some of the daily benefits of gratitude. And I saw from a lot of your intentions, a lot of you were sharing that you feel negativity, you feel toxicity, you feel down, you feel stuck, you feel lost. Well, that's a state that you're currently in. And what gratitude does is it creates an alternative state. So we are now traveling from your state to another state. But you can do it all through your mind and the practice of gratitude. Imagine, and I don't want you to think, oh yeah, Jay, I've tried to be thankful before and I've tried to be grateful before. I want you to listen to this. This is a real program, a real science for gratitude. So let me tell you about some of the deep benefits of gratitude. According to Positive Psychology's 2018 article, this is what gratitude leads to: increased happiness and a positive mood, more satisfied with your life. Tell me if you want any of this. Whenever I say any of these, press the like button or say yes. Increased happiness and positive mood. How many of us really want to do that? Imagine you could increase your happiness and a positive mood and it doesn't cost you anything. Second thing, more satisfied with your life. Imagine you feel more satisfied every day. Third, lower burnout. We're going to talk about this in a moment, but the workplace, our careers can be a space of a lot of pain and trouble. Number 4, better physical health. Gratitude leads to better physical health. Number 5, better sleep. How many of you struggle to sleep? You know, statistics show that we should be sleeping between 7 to 9 hours a night, right? 7 at least. 35% of people are sleeping less than 7 hours a day, right? Now, one of the reasons why we don't sleep well is because we're not in a state of gratitude. So even if you're sleeping long, but you're in a state of negativity, the quality of that sleep is reduced. So this is why gratitude is so important. So when you think, oh, gratitude, just being thankful, I feel happier for a moment. No, it's affecting all these parts of your life. Gratitude means less fatigue, right? Gratitude also means it improves your relationships, it builds resilience, and it develops patience. And there are as many 31 science-based benefits to happiness. I'm just sharing this from my notes and my studies here. So I want to help you today and over the next 5 days. Today's first habit, and we will be talking about more, today's first habit is gratitude, right? Is gratitude. And Danita says, you're bringing tears to my eyes, so hopeful. That's beautiful. I mean it, right? I genuinely mean it. Gratitude is so, so powerful. And just right now, I want you to take this moment to write in the comments something you're grateful for right now. And I want to emphasize this, and I'll talk about it as we go on, but gratitude is specific. The more specific you are, the better you are at gratitude. Gratitude is not general. Gratitude is not just like, oh, I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful. Right now, I'm going to share it to you. I'm grateful to each and every one of you for taking out time out of your days to prioritize yourself. Because that's one of the biggest mistakes we make. We don't prioritize ourselves. We think we're better people when we prioritize others. And then we have less to give ourselves and we have less to give others. What are you grateful for? Tell me right now in the comments. Shabana says, gosh, I need all 5. Grateful for you sharing this. Trust me, it's so often missed, Shabana. So many of us just think gratitude is this nice spiritual wishy-washy woo-woo concept, but actually it's a deep science, right? A lot of people saying they're grateful for this life. A lot of people are grateful for their health. A lot of people are grateful for their friends. And when you say that about your friends, think of specific friends. When you say that about your health, think of specific moments you felt in your best of health. When you're grateful for your daughter or your children, think about a specific memory. I want you to really immerse yourself in what you're grateful for. If it helps, close your eyes for a few seconds and just think of that friend. Think of the moment with your health. Think of your children, but in a specific memory and moment. Why? Because that takes our gratitude deeper. Open your eyes. Whenever you're in that place where you want to instantly access joy and gratitude, close your eyes and go back to that one thing you just told me about now, right? And go back to a specific memory. Don't just go back to a thought or an idea or someone's face. Go back to a specific memory of that individual. And next time you're with them, form a new memory. This is one of the biggest mistakes we make. The reason why we keep being held back by our old memories is we're not good at building new ones. When you build new memories, the old ones won't affect you. And it's so important that we build new memories to be grateful for, right? We build new memories to be grateful for. One of my favorite habits, one of my favorite practices to do this is something I'm going to share with you right now. How many times have you tried in a moment where you're just like, I never want this moment to end? How many of you felt that way before? Maybe with your child, maybe on holiday or vacation, maybe you're traveling, maybe you're just laughing. How many of you have had that moment where you're like, I never want this moment to end, and you feel really grateful for it? But then you don't know whether you should take a picture or a selfie, and you don't want to ruin it, and you're wondering how to do it. I'm going to teach you how to take the deepest mental picture ever. Do you want to know? And this is for gratitude. This is how we build gratitude, because we get grateful for new memories. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to close your eyes. And I can't tell if you've closed your eyes or not, but I'd love for you to close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, I want you to think of a moment that you're extremely grateful for. A moment, a memory, an interaction that brings joy, that brings happiness, where you really felt grateful from the heart. Could be with a person, a place, could be on your own. And I want you to think of 5 things that you can see in this place, in this memory, in this moment. What are the 5 things you can see? Maybe you can see a home, you can see the street, you can see the sky, you can see a tree, you can see a person. What can you see? What are the 5 things that you can see? Really deeply immerse yourself in those 5 things you can see. And go from one to the other in your visualization. Go from the sky to the tree, to the person, to the home, to the stone, and then do the same 5 again. Now, what are the 4 things you can touch? These are 4 things in that memory that you can touch. Maybe the person's hand. Maybe something on the side of the road. Maybe your own clothes as you put your hands in your pockets. What are 4 things that you can touch? Go through them again, one at a time. What are the 3 things you can hear? It could be your voice, their voice. It could be silence. It could be background noise. It could be birds. It could be leaves. What in this memory can you hear? What are the 3 things that you can hear? Visualize yourself hearing them now. What are the 2 things that you can smell? What are 2 things you can smell? It can be nothing, but it may be fresh flowers. It may be a fragrance. It may be an essential oil. What can you smell? And finally, what can you taste? Might be nothing at all, but just what can you taste? And what I want you to do now is that gratitude in that moment, I want you to take it all inside your heart. I want you to take it all inside of you. I want you to feel that energy, feel that power. taking over your whole body and mind. And when you smile, naturally, how does it make you feel when you feel that joy and gratitude infusing your life? And now I want you to slowly open your eyes. How did that make you feel? Tell me how that made you feel. Now, a lot of people I know are joining in late. If you are, don't worry, you'll be able to watch the replay afterwards. So as soon as we are completing the lives will stay up here, so you'll be able to come back to this. Tell me how that felt. Jennifer says, grounding, awesome. Yes, if you missed the first 15, 18, 20 minutes, whatever it is, you can always watch this afterwards. How did that feel? Tell me how that meditation felt for you. How did that make you feel when you dove into that memory of gratitude? Feels amazing to reflect. Right, so now when you want to take a mental picture of something, this is how you do it. 5 things, if you want to become grateful for something and remember how grateful you are, 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste, right? It's known as grounding in a lot of psychology. We were taught it about being present. If I wanted to be present as a monk, that's how we were taught this principle. But it's used in psychology today for grounding and removing anxiety. But if you want to be really present in a situation, if you want to be really centered, right? And so many amazing memories can give us energy. Now, here's the thing about gratitude, right? 65% of Americans reported they didn't receive recognition at work last year. Gratitude has been lost from our culture. Listen to this carefully. As many as 80% of people report that they're unhappy with their jobs. Now, let me tell you something. We all live in a space, right? We all live in a space where gratitude has been taken out of the culture. People are not grateful towards us, and we don't always get to be grateful to others. But imagine this. Imagine you were able to be grateful to someone. Now, just think about someone in the workplace. And I want you to think about work. Think about someone at work that you're genuinely grateful for. And you're like, wow, I couldn't live without them. Now, you may say that to them in passing. But how many times have you actually taken the step to express that to them? I realized the value of this when I did something. So I noticed a culture for a long time was where people left gratitude online. So people write reviews, people leave comments, all of those kinds of things. Now, I remember that there was this, when I was at university, there was this sandwich shop that I always used to go to in London. And, you know, no one really ever left them a review, and people just walk in and walk out and say thank you. And once, when I went in there, I spoke to the owner, who would, you know, usually be in there serving, because it was a small sandwich shop. And I just said to them, I said, I'm so grateful for you. I said, for 3 years, this was at the end of my university. I said, for 3 years, I've come here maybe 3 days a week. You've always been really pleasant. The food's always been really tasty. And I just want you to know how grateful I am that you were here. Now, this person, they weren't in tears. Like, you know, I'm sure they've heard this before, but they were so grateful. When I expressed gratitude, they expressed gratitude back. And they said, thank you so much for saying that. They're like, not many students tell us that. And people are rushing in and out all the time. Thank you so much. Now, let's be really careful about what happens here. When you express your gratitude to someone, when you recognize a good quality in someone else, you then reinforce that quality in them. And then guess what? They repeat it. When you recognize the 3 R's of gratitude, when you recognize something good in someone else, you reinforce it in them as a habit. And then they repeat it to others. Gratitude is now a domino effect. It's now not just affecting you and that person. It's now going to affect everyone they meet in that day. So even if your workplace is a culture in which gratitude is not there, be that person who starts to express gratitude to others, and notice how it comes back to you as well. Maybe through different people, not through those same people, but make sure it's specific and genuine. Gratitude can never be ingenuine. It should never just be thrown around like false flattery. Right? It won't work that way. It has to work when you really, really mean it. Right? When you really, really believe it. Right? When you really, really believe it. Andrea says, I see, feel, taste, sense, hear, energy. That's amazing. This is awesome. This is great feedback, everyone. Looking at some of your comments. Teresa says, my husband and I regularly check in with our assistants and ask how they are doing. If they are happy in their job, ask for their feedback. We're grateful for both our assistants and what they bring to our practice. That's beautiful. Valerie says, I'm a president of a very small company and I lacked recognition before. I want to make sure the staff we do have knows they're important to me. Amazing. This is great. And this is what we realize. Gratitude starts to become a circle. So in your work goals, gratitude is so powerful. When people feel that they're recognized, when people experience gratitude, guess what? They're more productive, they're more effective, they work harder, right? It makes a huge, huge difference. Now, gratitude improves our physical health. When you're struggling to sleep at night, do a gratitude meditation, just like we did right now. Close your eyes and experience gratitude for different parts of your body, for different parts of people that you've met that day. It's such a beautiful practice to cultivate, right? It makes such a difference. Listen to this. Better sleep, more likely to exercise, and even less likely to get tired. Gratitude can even help us live longer, right? We feel more rested when we experience gratitude. How many of you felt rested after that exercise we just did? How many of you felt more at ease, or maybe you felt lighter, right? Brianna says, this is amazing. Definitely love the 3 R's. I'm glad. Yes, when we recognize, and this is the thing about gratitude. When we learn to recognize, reinforce, and repeat qualities in others, we do the same with ourselves. This is why gratitude is so amazing. This is why I believe so much in gratitude. Listen to this carefully. Listen, it's so important. When you're grateful for how people treat you, this is what happens. It boosts your self-worth because you now realize people care about you. If you can think of one person in the last week who's done something nice for you, that will boost your self-worth and self-esteem because it makes you realize people are there for you and people care for you. The second thing that happens is you start to notice the goodness in yourself. You go, well, if someone's nice to me, there's something in me that's worth being nice to. What is that thing? Let me uncover it. And the third thing is you pass it on. You start sharing that gratitude, right? It's an incredibly beautiful feeling. Your self-confidence gets boosted when you realize people care about you. And you will only realize people care about you when you stop to think, what can I be grateful for? And it may be even everyday things that you miss, right? I have one friend who, despite her asking me every month if I want to go and see a soccer game with her, right? I've said no every time, and not because I don't want to go, just because I've had other things on, I've been traveling. She still keeps asking me. And finally we're going this week. And I said to her, I was so honest with her. And I just said to her, I said, I'm so grateful that you never stopped asking. Right? I'm so grateful. We miss things like that. I'm grateful that you never stopped asking, right? It will definitely be available on replay. Anyone who is worried about missing parts of this or disconnecting or coming in late, you'll be able to watch this on the replay. Do not worry. Laurie, I want you to see this on the replay. Do not worry at all. And gratitude allows us to reframe things, right? So gratitude is a state that we create. And when you're in the state of gratitude, you're no longer in the state of negativity, because you are infusing your mind and body with feelings of gratitude, joy, fulfillment. When you did that meditation, you were not in a space of negativity anymore. You can be looking at the same thing through the lens of gratitude, right? This is the most amazing thing. You can look at the same thing through the lens of gratitude and it completely changes, right? It completely changes. I'll give you an anecdote, a story that's often told about a man and a woman, husband and wife, and the wife had hung out the laundry outside, and the husband was eating breakfast inside, and the laundry was out to dry on the line. And when she came back in, he said, wow, that laundry's come out really, really dirty, hasn't it? It's come out really, really dirty. And she said, oh, let me go and check, let me go and check. The week after, she'd done the laundry again, and he goes, oh, wow, it came out clean. He goes, oh, wow, maybe the washing machine's working now. What was wrong? What was wrong with it? How comes the laundry's clean now? And she said, well, last week you hadn't cleaned the windows. This week you had. and it's this kind of thinking, right? Like, so in the first instance, He assumed that the laundry was dirty, not the window. And then when he cleaned the window, he could see clearly. This is like us. When we see through the lens of gratitude, we see clearly. When we clean our lens, we see clearly. When we live through the lens of gratitude, we see clearly. Often we don't live in gratitude. And when we don't live in gratitude, we become ungrateful, right? It's like when we don't live in gratitude, we experience ingratitude, right? We don't have gratitude and we miss out. And so it makes such a difference. It makes such a difference. This is so beautiful to see all of you sharing. Vaishali says, taking notes while listening, definitely need to listen again. Thank you, Jay. This is going to transform lives of many. I'm really hoping it will. Janice says, I'm grateful for being one for those 5,000 people watching this video and learning deepest things about ourselves. Thank you, Jay and team. Really appreciate it. Of course, I want you to live more deeper lives. Gratitude is a state and a lens that we can live in. We either clean our lens and make it grateful. If you're wearing glasses that are red, you'll see red. If you're wearing glasses that are black, you'll see black. If you're wearing glasses that are brown, you'll see brown. If you're wearing glasses that are gratitude, right, put on the glasses of gratitude. Right, that's really what it's about. Put on the glasses of gratitude. When you put on the glasses of gratitude, you will only see things with a grateful heart. That doesn't mean you'll like everything. That doesn't mean you'll be happy about everything. That doesn't mean that you'll be okay with everything. But you'll be able to see things with the perspective and state of gratitude. Even when things go wrong, you'll be able to say, I understand that there's something for me to learn here. I understand there's something for me to be grateful about here. There's a message here for me. That's what you'll say. It's not that everything will be perfect with the lens of gratitude, but you'll be able to learn, make progress regardless. Right? That's the biggest difference. We have to put on these glasses of gratitude, right? Gratitude glasses. Everyone put them on right now, right? Visualize yourself putting them on right now. Just for these 5 days, anything that happens, ask yourself, how can I be grateful for this? And if you can't be grateful for it in the moment because it's painful and it's bad news or whatever it is, don't judge the moment. Give yourself time to learn how to be grateful for it. I'll give you an example. Let me share something. And there are obviously much harder things and struggling things that we go through. And when they happen, we have to honor them. But there are so many times that gratitude can reveal later on. Sometimes we want something so bad and it doesn't happen. And what we don't realize is in that moment, we feel sad that it didn't happen, but it opened the door to something bigger later on. And think about that in your life when that's happened. When at first something happened, you were really down about it. And then afterwards, you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad that didn't happen. I was speaking to one of my friends the other day, and she was actually talking about how she was on 2 TV shows at the same time. One TV show was meant to become huge, right? One TV show is meant to become the big TV show, and it didn't. It didn't become huge. And she was on the other TV show, and the other TV show became huge. And always everyone believed the other one was going to win, but it didn't. And so often in our life, we get down about things that actually grow much later, right? So William says, I need this in my life. I'm going to listen again and again until it's burned in my heart and soul, and I can live this way naturally. Exactly. It's all about repetition. That's what I'm saying. Habits for happiness. States are created by repetition. Because we have repeated negative patterns, we have created negative states. When we repeat positive patterns, we create positive states. It's as simple as that, right? It's really as simple as that. We have created negative thought patterns which create negative states. That's all it is. That's all negativity is. Negativity is not a situation. It's not a circumstance. It's not a person. It's not a place. It's a state that has been created through repetition. And when you change the repetition, you change the state. That's as simple as it is, right? If you eat pizza every day, that creates a certain physical state. If you eat healthy every day, it creates a certain physical state. It's a habit. That's all it is. Laurie says, so grateful I made the decision to be a part of this, taking notes through this. Awesome. Louise says, in the treadmill, listen, I will definitely need to listen again as I don't think it's safe to close my eyes when I'm running. Yes, do not worry, Louise. I really, really appreciate that. Nicole says, I'm grateful for teaching everyone these tips. This is amazing. This is already going to help me in so many ways. Amazing. Alicia says, you're amazing. Thank you so much. I'm beyond grateful for everything you do. So happy to be here. Wow, I'm touched. I'm genuinely touched. I'm genuinely grateful for all this. The way you're expressing gratitude. Thank you so much. Rosario says, this is beautiful. Rosario says, I'm grateful for my back pain because it means I'm still in this world with the people I love the most. That is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that, because it's so easy to complain about it, but you forget that you're still alive. I love that. That's beautiful. So gratitude also strengthens our relationships. Why? Because, I mean, this is common sense. When you're grateful to others, it helps you build up a deeper bond. It means they recognize and notice things about themselves. You also, this is the beautiful thing about it. When you're grateful to someone, you give them the ability to notice the gift in themselves. So often people don't notice the gifts in themselves. When you're grateful to someone, it gives them another gift of finding that quality in themselves. It's huge, right? It's huge. So really, really important here. Gratitude is one of those things that regardless of whether you feel thankful throughout the day, it has to become a habit. So there are lots of things you will think about throughout the day. That doesn't make it a habit. That's just your thoughts. But a habit is something that you commit to. This is what we're doing different in this 5-day challenge. We're not just talking about having positive thoughts, thinking nicely. We're talking about powerful habits, right? We're talking about powerful practices. And so this is the practice I want you to commit to the next 5 days. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to write down 3 things that you're grateful for. And every night when you go to sleep, before you do, I want you to write down 3 things that you're grateful for from that day. So when you wake up in the morning, I want you to write down 3 things you're grateful for in the morning. And at night, I want you to write down 3 things you've been grateful for that day. That's all I want you to do. It's as simple as that. And this is going to be the beginning of your gratitude journal, right? This is going to be the beginning of your gratitude journal. That's all you're going to do. And when you go to sleep at night, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to thank, and you can do it with me right now. When you write down that list of 3 things, I want you to say, I'm really grateful this happened. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful this happened. Thank you so much. And you may even say, I'm not sure if I'm grateful yet for this happening, but I want to be grateful. Please show me that, right? Please show me how I can be grateful for this. And you can go to sleep in that peace. When you go to sleep in that gratitude, you give yourself the peace that you deserve rather than, trying to be constantly stressed about what has happened, right? That has always been stressed that has happened, right? So I really want you for these 5 days to start this basic gratitude journal every day. And you can do this before you join the live broadcast. 3 things that you're grateful for when you wake up. 3 things that you're grateful for before you go to sleep. It's a very simple exercise. I want you to start writing. So I don't want you to just think it. I want you to write it and then think it. And you can even voice note it to yourself. If you prefer recording, you can record them with a voice and say number 1, number 2, number 3. And I want you to play it back to yourself. When you build up this habit, right? But you have to become immersed in it. It's not just about writing it down. It's not just about the words. It's about really feeling this gratitude. Like I said, when you go into that moment, when you visualize that person and you thank them, you have to really experience gratitude, right? It's an experience. Gratitude isn't just a saying or words. It's an experience that I want you all to have, right? That's what I want you to start. So what I'd love for you to do is I want you to start your daily gratitude journal today. Find a nice notebook, right? Find somewhere beautiful to write it down. Stick it up on your wall next to you. And even write down the 3 things you were grateful for at night. Stick them up so you see them first thing in the morning. Imagine that. Make them your screensaver on your phone, the 3 things you're grateful for. So that whenever you're having a tough time or you get an awkward message, you see that and you go, oh, I'm still grateful for that. So that way you can shift your state. So put up a little post-it note next to your bed of 3 things that you're grateful for. Make it the background of your phone to make 3 things that you're grateful for so you can shift it to that state. Because why? We have so many prompts throughout the day that shift us into negative states. This will shift us into positive states. We have so many reminders, maybe a notification, an email that shifts us into negative state. This can push you into a positive state and a grateful state so quickly. I'd love for you to share your biggest takeaways on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and you can use the hashtag Habits for Happiness. Use the hashtag Habits for Happiness on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Tag me as well. I will try and share and respond to as many as I can, and share them on the group as well. Share them in the community. There are so many people who haven't been able to join this live. Make sure you share it with them and make sure that you are connecting with others and encouraging them to be a part of this growth as well. Tell your friends about this. Share your biggest takeaways, whatever you've moved on with, whatever you've connected with in this session. And I just want you to practice this as a habit. Stop letting your mind school you out of it. Your mind's going right now, I don't have the time to do that. I can't figure it out. Like, this is going to be hard. Like, I'm always so negative. Switch off all of that noise. Just switch it off and start this practice, right? Switch off that for 5 days. That's all I'm asking you to do. Commit to this practice for 5 days and look out for session 2 tomorrow, where we will dive into a second habit. Remember, you can watch this as many times as you like. You can comment on it. You can learn from it as many times as you like. It's not going anywhere. Use this again. Listen to it again. And I will see you for day 2 tomorrow, where we'll talk about the second habit. Remember to look out for all the emails that you're getting as well. Please, please, please do not switch off from those. Look out for the emails where you'll be getting details of everything that's happening this week. Make sure you show up for session 5, because in session 5, we'll be picking one person who attends to be able to have a phone call with me, where we'll be able to discuss some of this as well, and I'll be able to encourage you. I'm so excited for you to be here. I'm so grateful to have you in this community. It's so awesome to see so many of my geniuses as well, my private coaching community members in the group. Thank you so much for being here, everyone who showed up from that community as well. It's great, great, great to have you and your support here, and I can't wait for you to hear day 2. I'll see you then. Take care.